One of the things I will be doing is I'm going to reorientate my channel over the next few months into more of an outdoor prepping, how to survive climate change channel. Obviously with some medical stuff and nursing stuff that comes along, because I've got an interest in it and I'm still going to be teaching it, so I'm still in a way doing nursing. But one of the things that happened today is I got a strike and a video removed for promoting stuff that was against the CDC and the WHO from YouTube, and they claim that they had a person review it. Anyway, long story short, it was just a collage and montage of videos showing anti-vaxxers are getting more and more violent and trying to tell people that my assumptions that they're being funded and being controlled and used by another force to cause destabilization in areas like the West from another force, they didn't like it. So you know what, I'm actually fed up of it at this point. I think it's kind of a done deal. The COVID-19 should fade away in the near future. We may get a huge wave this time. We may even get a 5th or 6th wave, who knows. I'm doing everything I can. Precautions are pretty straightforward. Distancing, hand washing, masks, N95 preferably, and be vaccinated. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. There isn't any confusion about it. It's pretty obvious to me that the people who are against that have created micro bubbles themselves and are just inputting data into their minds that continually reinforce their false perceptions of the disease. And they don't want to listen to me, even though I have a master's in nursing and until the 1st September I run a hospital, because reasons, right? I've even been told that I've been lied to and haven't understood the medical information. And that was by somebody who's got no skills at all in healthcare or science. It's really bizarre. So that's what I'm going to do. I want to focus on doing, enjoying, and getting ready. Because human-caused climate change is real. It's an actual thing. It's quite clear to the world scientists and to most of us that it's real. The question has always been, at what point is it going to cause significant damage to current society? I mean, by significant, I mean minor and macro failures of our society to be able to function in the short, medium and long term. And I always considered 2040 to 2050 before macro effects would affect me here in Canada. And the data that has come in is bang on line with the worst case IPC projections for a long time. And that's no surprise, it's getting worse faster than was thought that it would get worse. For various reasons, which are irrelevant. What happens to us on the ground is important. So what are we going to do about human-caused climate change? Are the governments of the world going to come together and fix it? Hopefully, I doubt it. Are the people of the world going to be able on their own to reverse it and halt it? I doubt it. What's going to happen, in my opinion, is that we're going to have to suffer a huge calamity that's going to go on for years before we're able to, hopefully, struggle back into a civilization that's actually sustainable. And whether we're the species to do that, or whether it will be Wolfie Terrier's children, I don't know. I don't really care. What I do know is that rather than continuing to fight people who are completely resistant to hearing truth and seeing truth and feeling truth, I think it's much better at this point to actually switch the channel, because I think time's a lot shorter than I thought it was, to actually switch the channel into things to buy, things to store, things to do, skills to get ready for human-caused climate change coming to your door. And speaking of which, we had another tornado here. It was an F0, thankfully, and it was captured, and you can watch the video of it and see what it's like.
Oh boy.
Starting now. Oh God.
Kind of looks like a twister. Look at that. Whoa, look at that, eh? What the?
Hey, where's Jodie Foster?
That's crazy.
But it's a bit sobering to me to see these tornadoes dropping all around central Ontario in the way they're dropping, coupled with the terrible heat we're having, which is not that unusual for a summer, but the nighttime heat is, and the humidity is unusual. It's very unstable. It's getting hard to actually plan when to walk Wolfie to avoid rainstorms. It used to be 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock every July, August, we'd have a big thunderstorm for a while and it'd be put a hoodie on for evening activities. Now it's just hot all the time. And we have had a few thunderstorms, but they're very short, and we're not getting much water drop, a lot in a short period of time. We're not getting a lot of water drop. And everybody's location is going to experience the next few years differently. If you're in an area that you haven't noticed any effects of change of climate, that's great. If you think this is completely natural, that's great. It isn't. And even if you do, maybe you should prep up for it a bit. Definitely we're going to see some really extraordinary changes. And I think just documenting them and putting them out on video is kind of pointless. Yes, I could put a video up of Sicily, I could talk about they've had the hottest temperature ever there, or I could show Greek islands on fire. What I can tell you is BC is going to catch a break by Friday in terms of the heat and dryness, so that's good news for them. And every time we get waterfall, every time we get the reservoirs back up again, there's going to be complacency and normal bias. Don't be fooled. Keep an eye on what's going on in the world, keep an eye on your stores, keep an eye on if massive rain can flood you or cause a mudslide near you or near a road near you that's critical to you. Think about how you're going to cope with an unstable climate that's not that hospitable to human life some of the time. Most of the time it's going to be hospitable. So that's it from me. I hope you're all doing well, and I'm kind of still shocked YouTube removed one of my videos because they think it's an anti-vax video. I don't know who the human reviewer is, and I doubt there is one, but whatever. It was just a throw together video to prove my point that anti-vaxxers are getting more and more violent and we need to take them seriously. And if for some reason you are anti-vaxxer, you've got to consider who's manipulating you into acts of violence on the streets. Like, what's the purpose of this, given that 80% of the population fundamentally disagree with anti-vaxxers? Toodles. This has been a Sleeping in the Sun Terrier production 2020. Oops, sorry Wooly, go back to sleep. Oh, it's getting bitten by ants.